Let's talk about Coca-Cola, an American icon, instantly recognizable around the world and deeply woven into the fabric of everyday American life. For generations, it's been more than just a drink. It's a symbol of comfort, nostalgia, and national pride. But now, this beloved brand is facing a crisis that could change how you buy your favorite drink. The culprit? Tariffs. These new trade barriers are quietly reshaping the choices available to millions of consumers, and the effects are starting to show on store shelves. The Trump administration has doubled import taxes on steel and aluminum, sending shockwaves through corporate America. These metals are the backbone of countless industries, and the beverage sector is feeling the pinch. Coca-Cola's CEO, James Quincy, has publicly warned that if aluminum prices soar, the company might be forced to ditch cans altogether in favor of plastic or glass. That's a dramatic shift for a brand so closely tied to its iconic can. This isn't just a packaging issue, it's a sign of how protectionist policies can disrupt even the most established brands. The ripple effects could mean higher prices for consumers, fewer choices, and a shakeup in the way companies do business. Coca-Cola, woven into American identity and present at family gatherings, sporting events and celebrations, is now questioning its future in the U.S. market. The uncertainty is unsettling for both the company and its loyal fans. The threat isn't just to Coke's bottom line, but to jobs, prices, and the entire supply chain that supports thousands of American workers. From factory floors to grocery store aisles, the impact is widespread. As tariffs bite, the American economy is holding its breath. Investors, workers, and consumers alike are watching closely, wondering what the next chapter will bring. This story is about more than soda, it's about global supply chains, unintended consequences, and the future of American industry. What happens to Coca-Cola could happen to countless other companies. When a brand as American as Coca-Cola starts to rethink its place at home, it's a warning for us all, a reminder that even the most familiar things can change when global forces collide. So, what are these tariffs? Think of them as a hefty tax on imported goods. In June 2025, the Trump administration doubled tariffs on steel and aluminum to 50%, citing national security. The idea? Protect American metal industries from cheap foreign competition, especially China. But steel and aluminum are everywhere, in cars, cans, appliances, and buildings. The beverage industry, reliant on aluminum cans, was hit instantly. Construction, automotive, and even household goods saw costs spike overnight. The logic is to force companies to buy American metals, boosting jobs and manufacturing. But the reality? Most U.S. industries depend on global supply chains, especially with Canada, our top metal supplier. These tariffs hit allies as hard as rivals, leaving companies to either absorb costs, pass them to consumers, or overhaul their business models. The result? A ripple effect of higher prices and economic headaches across the board. For Coca-Cola, these tariffs are a direct hit. Coke is one of the world's biggest users of aluminum cans, many sourced from Canada. A 50% tariff on Canadian aluminum means skyrocketing costs for their signature packaging. This isn't a minor expense, it's a threat to profit margins and pricing strategies. Coke faces tough choices: raise prices and risk losing customers, or abandon cans for plastic and glass. Retooling factories and supply chains would be a massive, costly shift. The iconic red can could become a casualty of trade policy. Business is about numbers, not nostalgia, and the numbers are grim. The aluminum can, once a symbol of Coke, is now a financial liability. The future of Coca-Cola in America may soon come in a plastic bottle, whether we like it or not. That's the new reality tariffs have created. The idea of Coca-Cola dropping cans isn't just dramatic, it's a logistical nightmare, one that would send shockwaves through the entire beverage industry. For decades, the iconic red can has been a symbol of American refreshment, instantly recognizable in fridges, vending machines, and store shelves across the country. Their factories are built for canning. Switching to bottles means billions in new investment and years of disruption. Every conveyor belt, filling machine, and packaging line would need to be retooled or replaced, halting production and threatening thousands of jobs in the process. Glass is heavy and fragile, plastic is bulky and controversial, and both upend Coke's efficient supply chain. Aluminum cans are lightweight, stackable, and easy to transport, qualities that have made them the backbone of the soda business for generations. Retailers, vending machines, and shipping would all need costly overhauls, Supermarkets would have to redesign shelves, vending machines would require new mechanisms, and shipping costs would soar due to heavier and bulkier packaging. The consumer experience would change too. No more ice-cold cans, just heavier bottles or less satisfying plastic. The crisp, familiar pop of a can opening would be replaced by something less iconic, altering the ritual millions enjoy every day. Forcing this shift risks alienating loyal customers. Many have strong preferences, and a sudden change could drive them to competitors or away from soda altogether. Coke's public threat is a distress signal to policymakers. These tariffs make business as usual impossible. The company is sounding the alarm, hoping lawmakers understand the far-reaching consequences. It's a high-stakes standoff. Will the government blink, or will Coke be forced to follow through? The answer could reshape not just Coke but the entire beverage landscape in America. The outcome could forever change what you see in the American drinks aisle. The familiar sea of red and silver cans could vanish, replaced by a patchwork of bottles and unfamiliar packaging. This isn't just about Coke, it's about the cost of economic policy gone awry. The ripple effects could impact suppliers, retailers, and even the price you pay at checkout. When an American icon is forced to pivot, it's a sign the system is breaking. It's a warning that the rules of the game are shifting in ways that could affect every household. The stakes are high, and the world is watching. What happens next will be studied by companies and governments everywhere. The future of the American beverage industry hangs in the balance, and the choices made now will echo for years to come. Coca-Cola's struggle is just the tip of the iceberg. These tariffs hit your wallet everywhere, in ways you might not even realize at first. The impact goes far beyond just one company or one product. Everyday goods packed in metal, soda, beer, soup, pet food, are all getting pricier. Even the simplest items on your grocery list are affected, as manufacturers pass on higher costs to you, the consumer. The automotive industry faces higher steel costs, with new cars projected to cost hundreds or even thousands more. It's not just luxury vehicles, family sedans, SUVs, and even used cars are seeing price hikes. Home construction isn't spared. Tariffs could add nearly $11,000 to a new house. That means higher mortgages, bigger down payments, and more families struggling to afford a place to live. Sports equipment, appliances, even office supplies. If it's metal, it's more expensive. From the baseball bat your kid swings to the fridge in your kitchen, the price tags keep climbing. For families, this means higher grocery bills, pricier cars, and a tougher path to homeownership. Every major purchase, and even the weekly shop, now takes a bigger bite out of your budget. Lower-income households feel the squeeze most, as essentials and even kids' sports gear become less affordable. The gap between what families need and what they can afford is growing. What started as a policy to protect jobs is now a stealth tax on daily life. Every trip to the store, every bill is a reminder of how these tariffs quietly drain your wallet. The ripple effect is real, touching every corner of the economy. Businesses, workers, and families all feel the consequences, whether they realize it or not. Tariffs meant to help American industry are making life costlier for everyone. The very people they were supposed to protect are now paying the price in their everyday lives. The American dream just got a little harder to reach. For many, owning a home or even keeping up with monthly expenses feels more out of reach than ever before. And it all started with a tax on metal, a single decision that's now reshaping the cost of living for millions of Americans. Economists and business leaders are sounding the alarm. These tariffs are fueling inflation and uncertainty. Many companies, already squeezed by tight margins, now face soaring raw material costs. Instead of boosting manufacturing, the tariffs are slowing it down. Some firms are freezing hiring or cutting jobs. Modern supply chains are global and complex. Tariffs disrupt this balance, causing chaos and higher costs. The result isn't a smooth switch to domestic suppliers, but delays, shortages, and price hikes. There's also the risk of a trade war. Other countries are ready to retaliate, threatening American exports. A cycle of tariffs could tip the global economy into recession. The expert consensus blunt tariffs are a risky gamble that could do more harm than good. Supporting domestic industry is important, but not at the expense of the entire economy. The stakes are bigger than just one company. They're about America's economic future. Not everyone is worried. America's steel and aluminum producers see these tariffs as a long-awaited lifeline. They argue tariffs level the playing field against cheap, subsidized foreign metal, promising more jobs and investment at home. The vision revitalized steel towns and a self-sufficient America. But critics point out a problem: U.S. mills can't meet all the demand, especially for specialized metals. Many industries, like can makers, rely on imports for up to 80% of their needs. Tariffs make foreign metal expensive, but domestic supply can't fill the gap, leading to shortages and even higher prices. The policy helps steelmakers but hurts manufacturers who depend on their products. It's a classic case of robbing Peter to pay Paul. Can you strengthen the economy by propping up one industry at the expense of many others? The answer will shape America's industrial future. The world isn't taking these tariffs lightly. Allies like Canada and the EU are furious, seeing the move as a betrayal and a threat to free trade. Canada, America's top metal supplier, is preparing retaliatory tariffs, escalating tensions. The EU is targeting iconic American products in response, raising the stakes for U.S. exporters. The message: if America builds trade walls, others will too. The result could be a global trade war, isolating the U.S. and unraveling decades of cooperation. Even the UK's temporary exemption adds complexity to the geopolitical chessboard. Legal battles are underway, but for now, the tariffs stand. The world is watching, worried that America's actions could fracture the global order. The fallout from these tariffs could reshape international relationships for years to come. So, what does it all mean when Coca-Cola considers leaving its iconic can behind? It's a sign that the ground beneath American business is shifting in unpredictable ways. Tariffs meant to protect can end up hurting the very brands that define American culture. For consumers, it's not just a policy debate, it's higher prices and fewer choices. For businesses, it's a warning. Instability and uncertainty stifle investment and growth. The Coca-Cola saga is a cautionary tale about the unintended consequences of sweeping economic policies. The future is uncertain. Will the government back down, or will American icons be forced to adapt or leave? The answer will shape not just the price of a Coke, but the future of American industry and its place in the world.